Cheers, I do buckaroos, and how the heck are you? Sorry about that. Had to step off for a second. I forgot to grab some before I got started. Anyways, I wasn't gonna do a video tonight. I just got home from work. It was one of those 2-job days. Oh, my lighting director is getting. There we go. My lighting director. Gonna have to get me some of that later. Probably not now. If I had the ability to not say things. Anyway, I digress. It was one of those 2-job days, so I'm really tired. But I poured myself a little nightcap when I first got home, and then I thought, well, let's do a video. So I did pour myself originally about 3 ounces of this Restless Spirits. Oh gosh, they're American single malt. But I did drink a little bit out of it before I decided to go ahead and do a video today. Let me show you that bottle. So let me fix that here so more people can watch it. I hit the wrong button. Always looks different than it does what I see when I'm looking at it on the screen here. I don't know why, but it does. See if I can adjust that just slightly. See if that's better. Anyways, if I do this, oh no, that messes me up on the other side. There we go. Of course, I'm not really sitting between these two skeletons, right? Just setting up a backdrop. Man, that's a neat backdrop. I like it. The fat old man between two skeletons. Anyways, thought it was interesting. Anyway, I digress. This is my first alcohol tonight, believe it or not, but it has been a very long day, and I'm rather tired. There we go. Anyways, I digress, man. Anyway, anyway, oh, God, the writing on that is too low for me to trying to read tonight. But we'll show you this bottle here. This stuff is just awesome. I bought only bought one of these. I bought 2 bottles of Gullytown single malt. There were 2 different ones, and I haven't opened the other one yet. But this one here is just outstanding. It drinks a lot like an Irish single malt. Obviously, it's not. It's American single malt, but yeah, there are a lot of similarities between this and an Irish. It drinks more like an Irish single malt than a Scotch or even a Japanese single malt, for instance. You can feel the Irish heritage of this whiskey. How about if I say it that way? I was necessarily going to have a beer, but then this one, my wife dug it out of the back of the fridge not long ago, and it really needs to be drank because I bought it back in August. I bought it back in August. I kind of got forgot about. I thought I drank them all. I drank this. This is the last of the 6-pack anyway. From Martin City Brewing out of Kansas City. Wife and I went to Kansas City back in August. That's where I bought all of this stuff here. Let me show you this before it all fades away. Let me show you this. I love this Martin City glass. I love this shape of glass because I think it's one of those all-purpose kind of glasses, Anyway, this is the Martin City Atlas Steam, the steam beer style at 5%. It is a very faithful version of the style, pioneered by Anchor Steam. I made a comment a while back in the video that kind of got taken out of context. It's funny how you say certain things, people want to just take that one line without listening to anything else you said. I made a comment about Anchor Steam going out of business, so I don't give a rat's ass, but I went on to explain what I meant by that. But all a couple Nimrods want to take out is, you don't give a rat's ass. Well, that's not exactly what I meant. maybe you want to listen to the whole thing before you start being a judgmental prick. And then again, some people just want to be judgmental pricks, and then that's why they do that on purpose. They intentionally take one line out of context. Of course, it's sad when a classic like Anchor Steam goes down, but it's kind of the natural order of things. Things happen, right? Thinking of retail, I spent a lot of time in retail. There was a time back in the 70s, maybe into the early 80s before Walmart really took hold. Of course, Kmart was number one for a long time. There was a retail outfit called TG&Y that nobody knows anymore, but they were huge, especially in California. And at one time, they were the number two retailer. Well, Kmart was so big at the time that they sent a memo out that said, don't change anything. And they didn't. And for a long time, it worked until it didn't. The problem is when it stopped working, they didn't know how to change to make it work again. And that was kind of Kmart's downfall. And the one thing that, I guess there are a lot of things that Walmart did right. Not necessarily, in the best interest of their employees, but for the customers, they put themselves in markets where nobody else was until people knew their names, and then they started taking over existing markets. That was very intelligent. A lot of folks have tried to do the opposite. It didn't work, but they were in markets. They put themselves in small towns where a big chain didn't exist, and you put the mom and pop organizations out of business. Now, their line was always, well, we did this because the mom and pop organizations were gouging the public. Well, the mom and pop organizations, of course, were not gouging the public. The mom and pop organizations couldn't buy at the price that Walmart was buying. Of course, they had to charge more money. They weren't getting the deals. That was kind of where Walmart kind of pissed me off, is that intentional spread of misinformation. And I will be forthright telling you, I did work for them for a period of time, and that's why I kind of got pissed off when I started researching the truth. That they weren't this great benevolent organization that they were trying to convince everybody they were. Oh, mercy. But the point being of that rant was that, yeah, places go out of business. It's just the way it is. It's sad to see anybody go out of business, but sometimes that's just the natural order of things. You gotta, and they're a company that had been propped up for quite some time anyway. I do miss some of the products. I'm not gonna lie. I bought a lot of great stuff from them over the years, but they hadn't been in my market for about 5 or 6 years anyway. But yeah, you're right. It is sad to see anybody go out of business. Nobody wants to see that, but again, sometimes just the natural order of things. I didn't wait too long to drink. This is still good. It hasn't lost anything. Still tastes like a steam beer. But I love that the style is around still, and other craft breweries are capitalizing on that and making this style. For a while, nobody was. So I'm glad to see, Martin City doing what they do. Martin City does some great beer up in Kansas City. Again, I didn't hit the brewery back in August when we were there, but I did pick up 4 different 6-packs from them at a Lucas Liquor. Hoping to visit the Kansas City area again soon. I'll pick up more stuff from them. I hadn't been up there in a few years, so it was kind of nice to revisit them back in August. We did have 3 days up there, but it kind of goes fast, right? The first day was a lot of driving, and we hit a lot of places. Second day, we were kind of tired, so we just kind of stayed local where we were staying. Third day, we went off somewhere else. So, I hit they had a lot of breweries, but that kind of wasn't the point. One hit some wineries, do some other things that we hadn't done in Kansas City before. Did manage to get to a couple of distilleries that I hadn't been to before, though. Still a couple I'd like to get to. That I missed Lifted Spirits last time. I really like Lifted. So I wasn't familiar with them, but I bought this Madeira aged rye whiskey that was just insane. So I'm hoping to get to Lifted at some point, but it may be a while before I get there. I did enjoy my visit at Restless Spirits, though. I did have one cocktail there and bought several things. The rest of this being one of them. I bought a lot of stuff from Restless because I was just impressed. I love the products, and I know I did, but the customer service there at their lounge or bar area was just so amazing. I felt good about spending money there. And I try to buy small whenever possible. I am a whiskey guy, but like a lot of whiskey guys or bourbon guys, I'm not enamored, let's say, by the brands and the names that everybody knows. I guess some folks want to have Blanton's, they want to have Buffalo Trace. I just don't care. I've had Blanton's before, and I've had Buffalo Trace. I have no inclination to keep them in my house at all times like some people do. I just don't understand that at all. For me, I want to buy small. I want to buy whiskey and wine even the same way I buy beer. I want to buy as local as humanly possible. Of course, you're not going to see as many wineries or distilleries as you do breweries. So you have to expand your idea of what's local, right? But I love buying from these smaller distilleries like Restless Spirits, Lifted Spirits, the smaller wineries. I'm always buying as small as humanly possible. You got the lemmings that are always going to buy Buffalo Trace and Weller. Not that that's bad whiskey, of course it's not, but why do you have to have it? I mean, I don't understand the point of, hey, look, I have Weller. I don't care. I want to have this local-ish stuff, right? I want to buy as small as possible because that's what helps people, right? That's what helps the economy most, especially your local economy. Buy as small as possible, whatever your thing is, whether it's beer, whiskey, wine, or potato chips. I don't care what it is. If you've got a small something in your neck of the woods or close to your neck of the woods, buy that. Help those people. So my regular day job, I don't work tomorrow. I work job number 2 tomorrow, so I can kind of relax, so I can sleep in, hopefully catch up on some sleep, and then we'll see what the weekend brings. Should turn the music down. I didn't think to turn the. I could have even just muted the music, so we don't need the spooky music in the background. But I love the fireplace. The fireplace going. The two skeletons sitting there like they're having a drink. But I love that, man. Anyway, so I got to do a video with that in the background. I can dig it, man. I can dig it. Anyway, Tom, take it down a notch, will you, man? This is the first drink of the day. I shit you not. I am tired, though. I'm very tired. I've been up since about 5:30 this morning, so I'm a tad punchy at this point. I'm Rocky Balboa punchy at this point. Rocky Balboa punchy at this point, man. Anyway, I digress. Rocky Balboa punchy. Most of the pop culture references I make, you have to be of a certain age to get. I'll say, I'm getting too old for this shit, and they all look at me, and it's like crickets at the office. Get too old. Who doesn't know that? Then I'll talk to somebody about 35. What's Lethal Weapon? Let's do that. Tom, that's an old movie. No, it came out in the 80s. Yeah, it's 40 years old. Oh, fuck. Oh, damn it. It is old. Now it's not quite 40, but it is aged. I digress. It's bizarre thinking that the 80s are as far away as they are now. It's holy crap, yeah. Remember growing up in the 80s, thinking the 50s was a long way away. I remember thinking, gosh, it was probably 1980, 84 or 85, maybe. My dad was in his early 60s. I remember thinking, Dad is old. Dad's 62, man. Be 84. Dad's 62. He's old. We used to joke with my dad, or, joke about dad, I guess I should say. We say, my dad is so old, he was invented before television. Born 1922. And now I'm 58. Ah, damn. If Dad was still around, he'd be said, "Who's old now? Who's old now, son, bitch? Think you're funny, do you? Say something funny now." Oh, mercy. Dad was hilarious. Dad was one of those just bigger than life personalities. And like me, I might have inherited this from my dad, but people either really liked him or really didn't, and that's kind of what I end up with. People either, hey, you're really funny, you're a nice guy, you're an absolute asshole. There doesn't usually a lot of in between. People either really liked Dad or they didn't. Dad was honest to a fault, man. If whatever was on his mind at any given moment, he would tell you. That's probably where I got that from. But Dad really did have a heart of gold, man. He did a lot of stuff. He helped a lot of folks. I know my sisters would have friends that needed a place to stay for one reason or another, and they'd be able to stay at our house. And then when I got old enough, yeah, he would. I had a couple friends that needed a place to stay for a period of time, and he would let them stay there, help them out. And in many cases, even help find a job, get out on their own. We had a lot of relatives that would come over. Dad just, opened up a room, and they can come in and stay as long as they wanted. A lot of cousins would come by from time to time. That's just the kind of people they were, and I always kind of tried to be like that as well. Help folks when they needed help. Dad looked at family as kind of everybody, especially if they're related, but even if they weren't. Dad wanted to help anybody that was a good person. Uh, well, my wife cleaned out the fridge, or I'd never found this big. They would never know I had one left. The way in the back. Anyway, but about that back in August. August wasn't all that far ago, I guess. All that long ago, I guess. Might be a better way to say that. Right about August 11th when we were out there. So about 2.5 months. Nevertheless, it needed to be dressed. It had to go. It didn't have to go home, but it couldn't stay here. Anyway, but I really liked it. Isn't that cool? Got the fireplace, two dead people. You got two dead people, fireplace. They don't look like they're having a good time, though, right? Obviously, their wives aren't there. I should have let that one go. I I got the look right there. My lighting director is unhappy. Yeah. I had the right to remain silent. I've just never had the ability. People either really like me for that or they really hate me for that. There really isn't much of an in between. I wouldn't say I had a heart of gold. It's more like sterling silver, but I do try to do the right thing most of the time. Anyways, I digress. Anyway, anyways, I digress. I probably shouldn't try to insult anybody else tonight. I am Tom the Beer Whisperer, or I should say accidentally insult, because I never try to insult anybody, but sometimes things come out. Tom the Beer Whisperer, beer evangelist, prolific beer drinker, purveyor, wisdom man. Oh gosh! Usually I finish up with the beer. I finish whiskey off, then wash it down with the beer. But boy, this whiskey is just insanely good. This Gullytown American Single Malt. If you've never been to Restless Spirits in Kansas City, I gotta tell you, these guys are doing some of the best stuff on the planet. That's why I get kind of frustrated by whiskey guys from time to time, because I always want to show you the name brand stuff. I say these guys don't need our help. Jim Beam doesn't need our money. They're owned by a Japanese company now. Well, Turkey doesn't need our money. Weller doesn't need our money. Buffalo Trace. I mean, come on, guys. You can get this stuff. It's not hard to get. Well, I guess it is hard to get, but I mean, it shouldn't be hard to get, I guess. Buffalo Trace is a damn fine $25 bourbon, but if you're spending more than that, you're stupid beyond belief. Because you can find small distillers, I guarantee you, in your neck of the woods or not far off your neck of the woods. They're doing great products that you're overlooking to have something to take a picture and show your friends, look, I got this that everybody else has. Forget the whiskey that everybody else has. Buy good whiskey. Buy as small as possible. That is my philosophy anyway. Restless Spirits, I guarantee you, is doing some of the best stuff on the planet right now. They're just a great distillery doing great products. So I'm going to support them. I'm not going to go out of my way to buy Buffalo Trace or Blanton's or anything else that everybody knows. I don't need Jim Beam. I don't need Jack Daniels. I've had those. I've had Blanton's. I've had Buffalo Trace. I know what they taste like. I don't need to have them in my collection just to take pictures of people. Look, ain't I cool? Because that's what it looks like. Whenever you see people take a picture of a Blanton's bottle, look, all right, cool. No, you buy something that everybody else has already had. Anyway, I had a bad joke there, but I decided to let it go. I had this, Tom, that was going to be offensive. Yes, it would have been very offensive. I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist. I'm glad I let that one go. Usually I can't stop myself, but I was able to hold that one back. It would have been hilarious, but it would have offended a lot of people. I would have thought it was hilarious anyway. My wife says she's amazed. You should be. Damn it, you should be impressed. I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist. Hey, man, we're just all trying to get by. I've got a small distiller in my neck of the woods, Teoctida. I try to buy their products whenever I can. Even though Kansas City is about 3 hours-ish, a little less from where I live, I'm considering that local too as far as distillers go. So anytime you can support any small distillery, I think you need to. That other stuff, everybody knows. Everybody's had. I don't understand why everybody needs to take a picture of the same whiskey. Look, I got it. I don't care. I don't care. Show me something else. Support your small distilleries. I guarantee you have some in your neck of the woods. You're the same way that a lot of you support craft breweries. I don't. The funny thing is I know a lot of craft beer guys that are craft whiskey or there are whiskey guys as well, but they don't see whiskey the same way as they do craft beer, and it always makes me go, why not? Look at it the same way. Buy those small distillery products because I guarantee you they're every bit as good, if not better, than those big guys. Anyway, I am Tom, the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, for very wisdom man. All around good guys, lunch it.